Hey guys, this is Keith, and welcome to another edition of Ask Qieth, the answers. I really thought that you guys would go easy on me, because this is the second one, but we have 38 questions to go through, so let's just dive straight into it. DaManCallahan asks, how tall are you? I am 189 centimeters, which is about 6.2 feet, I think, if you don't use the metric system. TwstdFlaems says, what's your opinion on tattoos? Do you have / plan to get any? And if yes, why? I think tattoos are awesome. I think it's a great way to express yourself. I'm not really fond of those tribal tattoos or generic, what do you call them, ass antlers or whatever. I want to see tattoos that has some personality to it. I have a tattoo myself. I only have that one. But it's very special to me. A lot of people think it's like you've loved and lost and stuff like that. But it's really a reminder to me that no matter what you go through in life, your heart's still beating. There's something holding your heart together. So I look at that every day, and even when I have a bad period in life, I use that to remind myself that it's not all that bad. TheAntiAnne says, have you got a favorite or lucky piece of clothing / possession? If so, what's the story behind it? I'm not really big on like personal stuff and accessories, but I have one ring. I actually got this because a while ago, I was maybe, I don't know, 7 years ago probably, I don't know. I was really into magic, and I bought this magic trick which was basically moving a ring from one finger to another. And in order to do that, you had to be able to wear the ring and be comfortable about it. So I wore that ring, and it was really just nothing more than an aluminum band. And I wore that so that whenever I needed to, I could do the trick. I never got around to actually show it to anybody, but I got used to wearing a ring. And then one day, my mother was so tired of watching me wear this really, really ugly aluminum band. So she said, I want to buy you a decent ring, and she bought me this, and I'm actually really happy about it. So that's the only piece of accessory that I carry around and I use every day. But it is, if I take it off and then I'm sleeping, it feels like something's missing, Sonicthehedgehogyay says, if you could have one awesome power, what would it be? And do you watch anime? If you do, what's your favorite anime? If a guy could have one awesome power, it would be to absorb another person's mind, knowledge, whatever. It would be awesome to just know what everybody else knows, and good and bad. Obviously, all the bad stuff would come, along with it. But I think that would be cool. Just take a class in, I don't know, rocket surgery, and then you just absorb the teacher's brains, and then you're done. You can do everything. Or you help people through psychology. You can really understand them. But yeah, sure. I do watch anime. Not much. I watch just not much. I have a fondness for Naruto, and I watch that every week. And I know it's probably not what there's going to be a lot of anime fans going, "Oh my God, Naruto sucks," and there's probably going to be some that thinks it's really awesome. I don't know that many anime shows. I watched Death Note. I love that. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. So that's an anime I really liked. Tried watching some of the others. What was it? There was some dude that was a sailor, but I thought that was just a bit too childish. And there was that dude with the big blade that acts like a keeper, but I don't know. But that didn't really catch my fancy either. So I'm really picky about anime, I suppose. So I'm not a huge fan, but I do like to watch the occasional show. Gigaboost says, will you ever make vlogs again? Will you ever go through with that idea you talked about on Steam? I started this YouTube channel thinking I would be, one of the free speakers of atheism and stuff like that, which is why the very earliest videos you're going to find are vlogs of myself. But I feel like maybe I should leave that to somebody else that are better at it. And I do have a plan. I'm probably going to start a second channel, which is going to be like daily vlogs for a project I'm going to do. And, I'll post some stuff about that when it actually airs, if it actually airs. maybe, probably, perhaps, you know. So you're gonna have to wait and see on that. CabD2 says, "What do you stand on gay rights and gay marriage?" I have no political or religious views that should have any bearing on my feelings towards homosexuals. I think that two people loving each other is two people loving each other, no matter what parts you were born with. And you know, the only person that people that are butthurt about it, excuse the phrasing, are people that has some sort of religious view on it, or has been brought up to be, you know, with the notion that it's wrong. And I can't follow that. I can't really. I don't see why I, as a person, should deny somebody else the right to love one another. And denying gay people to marry, it seems a bit weird. It's not like they're gonna love each other less because you do it. It's not like they're gonna, oh, I'm just gonna stop being gay because guy can't be married. No, it's not. It's just, this is their way of expressing love, just like it's the straight way of expressing love and commitment. And I don't see why that should be any different. Ethanpschwartz says, I love that, Schwartz. "What brand of cigarettes do you smoke?" YouTube wants to know. I smoke Red Looks, or Look, because that's just the taste that I like. I went through a lot of brands. I used to smoke something called Cecil. This is a Danish brand. I don't know if you even know it. But then they changed the flavor. They added like a lip balm perfume sort of taste, and it's absolutely dreadful. And a lot of the cigarette brands have this now, and I don't know why, but it makes me gag. And then I went through a lot of different brands. I basically went down to the into the store and said, I want each of that, and that. And then just went through those packages over a couple of weeks, and then I decided on what brand I wanted to smoke. So yeah, don't smoke, kids. I don't care. If you want to smoke, go ahead. If you want a tip from somebody that's been smoking for 11 years now, don't start. If I could go back in time and that fateful day, standing in a Tivoli where somebody taught me how to inhale, I would smack that bitch, and then I would smack myself even harder. Don't start. It's stupid, and it's going to be absolutely terrible to stop. So that's a little bit of moral preaching for you right there. joebarron 12 asks, "What's your favorite brand of the following foods? Peanut jelly or Jamaican lobster?" Well, I'm allergic to nuts. I never really had lobster, so I guess jelly, but I'm not really that fond of jelly either. So yeah, there's that. Somewhere else now asks, "What do you think of us Swedes? And also, could you answer that in Danish?" Jeg synes sådan set, at svensker er fint nok. Der er nogle rigtig lækre tøser i Sverige. Men det er bare en skam, at I ikke kan snakke ordentligt dansk. JP Dias 11 says, "Keith, what's your secret to awesomeness?" You take 1 part ethanol, 13 parts sugar. I don't know. Just I think everybody's awesome, really. I know that sounds like a hippie way of doing it, but anybody that has the guts to be themselves and just express themselves as they want to, they are the awesome people. I just act the way I am and speak my mind, and I don't know if that's particularly awesome, or there's certainly more awesome people than me, I think. So I think it's really a matter of character. If you allow yourself to be awesome, you are awesome. Bandido Andreas says, "I always imagine you being like a Mexican with a, what's that, the sombrero on, you know. If you could have one augmentation from Deus Ex Human Revolution, what would it be and why?" I think I want the Icarus landing system. It's not particularly useful for what I do. Well, actually it is, because I work on the 8th floor, so getting down would be really easy. Just open a window and poof, and then, you know, it would be a neat party trick. Hacking would be fine, but that's illegal. And well, not if you're good. You're not going to get caught, are you? But yeah, X-ray vision maybe. Nah, I think the landing system would be kind of fun. Aloha 8 asks, "You are really gay, man, and fat. You need to grow up and fuck anal instead of YouTube, because you are like old and still playing games, having no life and being a virgin, realize that. That's not a question, man. X01 Brains asks, why do you make YouTube videos? I make YouTube videos because it's fun. I enjoy, I play video games and I like recording them, and I like to see how people relate to what I do and what I talk about. And I think that's really my biggest motivation, is that when I post something and, I'm just speaking to myself here, and then somebody else watches the video and go like, hey, I like that that thing you said there, or I enjoy watching you play video games and stuff like that. And that's really the motivation behind it. XVBrad1 says, sorry, XVBrad101, sorry, yeah, you know who you are, says, would you prefer to be a big gaming channel on YouTube, maybe get 300,000 views on your question mark videos, and lots of comments, or stay a small channel and be able to read all the comments? I think that even if I was big, I would probably read all the comments anyways. I really, the comments are what motivates me, and I really think that I would continue reading those, regardless of how big I was. It would take more, but every morning when I wake up and there's like a bunch of comments, I read. I sit and have my morning cigarette, and I read through the comments on my iPhone, and it's a good start on the day. So I think I would keep doing that. PSS, you're awesome. Thank you very much. TwstdFlaems says, are there any game releases left in 2011 that you are looking forward to? Well, there is The Binding of Isaac, which comes out in the end of September, which is made by Edmund McMullen, one of the dudes behind the Super Meat Boy. And there's not a lot of, well, there is some info about the game, but it's probably more out of loyalty than anything else. What else? Are there any good games? Hopefully Assassin's Creed Revelations will come out pretty soon. I don't think it'll be out this year though. And yeah, we have yet to see what comes along, really. Baron G says, will you play more old school games? I like the ratio between the ratio of old and new games as it is of now. Also recommend stuff. I sort of feel like I'm mixing between good and, not good and bad. New and old games. I play the new games, so I might as well record them anyways. And once in a while I toss in an older game because it's something that I've always had my eyes on. Or because it's a game that I feel like, well, that would be fun to play through again, and that, I want to share the experience with people. So I do swap around a bit. One of the next Let's Plays I have in mind is a game from 2004, but a great game nonetheless, and I have another few games in mind that are actually quite old now. AgentZombie Man says, Keith, in your first Ask Qieth, you said that your favorite game genre was indie games. So my question is, what are your top 5 indie games? Right off the bat, number 1 would be Super Meat Boy. I love Super Meat Boy. Number 2, this is terrible. I should have prepared for this. I'm just speaking straight off the bat here. 2 would probably be the Let's Play I'm gonna post in maybe a few weeks. I'm not gonna spoil it yet because I don't want to start it. I don't want to give it away. You're gonna see it when I upload it. I don't know, indie games. I thought it's difficult to make like a top 5 because all the indie games that I really love, they have their different charm and stuff like that. So it's not like something I can just point and say, this is the best and this is the second. They're all really, really great. So I'm not sure I could give you a real list because it shifts once in a while. Sometimes I like this type of game. Sometimes I love another type of game. AssassinAlterYear? Oh, AlterYear. Okay, I get it. I'm going to do a co-op Let's Play someday. I actually have already done a co-op Let's Play. I did that Serious Sam run with Dopefish, which was a lot of fun. I want to do more, but it's difficult. Me and Dopefish has been talking about doing some games, and we might get around to do that actually. But the problem is it's a huge hassle to make sure that you can hear me, and you can hear the other person, and you can hear the game. And until I find a good system to do that, maybe I'm just gonna wait a bit, and see, you know, what comes along, and see if I can find a better way to do this. AgentZombie Man says again, what's your favorite Let's Play? Also, do you think you could do Condemned 2 next? My favorite Let's Play is probably my first of Amnesia. It's sort of like the first one is always the best, right? Except for sex. It's really, you know, I feel strongly about that, because that was sort of what kickstarted me into doing Let's Plays, and it's really it really has a special place in my heart. Unfortunately, it was also in the beginning of my learning period, and there was a lot of bloopers with that, like recording and file sizes and stuff like that, and editing and rendering and stuff like that. But it is my my special sweetheart, you know. In terms of Condemned and horror games in general, I really need to prepare myself between horror games, because it's really difficult to get through them in a reasonable fashion. Co1 Piece says, I don't know. Colts Let's Play, I don't know. Have you ever felt frustrated when you began doing videos, or what gave you the boost to continue? There were some videos that were really difficult to edit, and I do what I call a screen testing before I start a Let's Play, where maybe I record like 10-20 minutes of the beginning of the game to work out resolution, screen ratio, aspect ratio, file sizes, volume, that sort of thing. And that's a lot of work. I can maybe, before I actually start playing the game for real, I've spent 1 or 2 hours setting up everything, making sure it works and stuff like that. That could be really frustrating on some games. There's been games that I've had to just cancel because it was too much really to deal with. Maybe I could go back to those now that I have some more experience under my belt. Editing goes really fast now. I was really frustrated not too long ago when my headset broke, and I basically bought a new one, which turns out this one. You know, remember I did the mic test a couple of weeks ago, and I can do it by, you know, I can make it work by removing noise and do noise reduction in Audacity, but it gives me sort of a hollow voice. But I don't really feel like I have the money to buy a new decent headset yet, and you guys aren't donating very much. I'm kidding. You shouldn't spend your money on a video game or something instead. But that's some of the first. Also, you know, if you really want to play a game but you can't because you're running out of hard disk space, that's really annoying, you know. Taskdrummer Ones asks another question: where do you see yourself in 6 months from now, YouTube-wise? Do you feel you have the energy, commitment to continue doing Let's Plays and commentaries without losing touch and interest? Well, the thing is, I like playing video games, and I obviously like talking to myself, so that's not a huge deal really. I figure I'm just gonna keep doing this and enjoy it, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. We can experience some great games together, and yeah, I think that's just the way it's gonna go. I do have some plans for additional content, maybe like a weekly or bi-weekly show of sorts that I might do. I'm still pondering about that. I might do a pilot, see how the response is, and then maybe that can be sort of a boost, or at least a break from just posting videos and stuff like that. But more on that when I actually have something concrete to show you. To learn from YouTube asks, how's your YouTube career? It's actually going pretty well. I'm nearing 3,000 subscribers, which is great. The subscribers doesn't really mean anything, because I see people subscribing but they never comment, and so it's not about the subscribers, it's more about the views and the comments really. Obviously the comments is what motivates me to keep doing it, and the views, it's nice to see that people are watching my stuff and apparently enjoying it. For a long time I used to look at how many views a video would get within the first 24 hours since I uploaded it. And that was maybe like 100, 200, maybe 300, depending on the popularity of the game. And then I looked at YouTube Insight statistics, and it said I had around 100,000 views over a month. And I was like, well, if I upload a video a day and that gets 300 views, then there's no way that this could be 100,000 views. So I started looking back on the previous ones, and it turns out the portal has like 50,000 views over, on all of them. I think several thousand views on average per video. And some of the older games I've done is really generating a lot of views, so that's kind of neat. That there's around 100,000 people that decide to sit down or not necessarily different people, because you guys might watch a video from me every day, and then that counts as 30. But there's a lot more people that actually enjoys the stuff that I do. So I think it's going pretty well. Comments and views is really what I value myself on, or I judge myself on. But it's never been about popularity, really. It's just about having fun, 521 Snake says, do you have an Xbox or a PS3? No, I do not. I don't have any. Well, I do have a PS2, actually. But I bought it so I could play Guitar Hero. And I don't think I ever really... I have it for PC as well. Played a little bit for PC. Maybe I should make some Guitar Hero videos. I made one, but that was suck. I really suck at that game. The PS2 is mainly used for watching DVDs, since my DVD player broke, and I don't think I've played a DVD on that for several years. Maybe 2 years, probably. I don't know. FlubGrub21 says, have you completed the StarCraft 2 campaign? If so, did you enjoy it? I did complete it. I bought it when it was out, and I very much enjoyed it. I'm not very good at strategy games unless they were like really slow, like Zeus. So I played it on normal for a challenge, and I'm gonna buy the next campaign as well, and the Prototype campaign in the end as well. I might actually do like a let's play of the StarCraft campaign. It's not gonna be very impressive because it's gonna be a normal, but just to play through the game again, that would be fun. I need to scroll. Hold on, that's a lot of questions. WoW Glitcher 100 asks, Qieth, do you think you'll return to WoW since the end of Cataclysm is near? I don't really see myself going back to WoW, because Blizzard has this this idea that they should cater to everybody, and it really takes the joy out of the game, And I'm not trying to sound elitist, but I want to feel like I am being rewarded for the hard work that I do when I do raiding and stuff like that. Back in the Burning Crusade, for example, just you needed to get blues just to do heroics. Now you get to max level, and you're almost handed, here, have some epic items, and then they're not really that epic anymore, and the boss fights sort of got a bit stale. So I don't see myself going. I've wondered about maybe just activating my account for like a month and just play around with my old friends and stuff like that, but I don't really see myself going back to World of Warcraft or any MMO for that matter. They need some really serious changes for me to do that. WilzoHD says, what's your favorite game that you're not very good at? I really like to do Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. There's some videos of that somewhere on my channel. But I'm not very good at shooters. I'm not very good at a lot of games, as you may know. But I really enjoyed it. I get really excited if I got a 3 kill streak and stuff like that. Maybe even a 5. That would be great. But I'm not very good at it, and it turns out I was pretty bad most of the time. It depends on what kind of lobby you got into, I suppose. But I like it, but I'm not very good at it. I'd like to be better at StarCraft because I like to do multiplayer. But I'm not good at strategy games either. Ravenspheele 249 says, will you make a co-op with your friend like you did some time ago? I should have answered that question earlier. Yes, I will probably make another co-op with Dopefish if he wants to. Multimadmann asks, will you continue streaming? Could you give me your awesome laughter, please? Sorry, I was... lungs. That's not evil enough. There you go. Streaming, yeah. the thing about streaming is that it's actually pretty hard to decide on what game I want to stream, because most of the games I play these days I actually record, and so it has to be there. I mess about with a lot of games, but I'm not sure if that would be really fun for people to watch. I suppose they could just stop watching if they don't like me playing Puzzle Quest 2 or whatever, you know. So I'll definitely, I have not forgotten about streaming, but it's just, you know, I don't know. I'll try and do more streaming. It sure is fun when we do it, right? ProAimkia says, when do you think that you'll stop making videos and concentrate on real life? Well, the thing is, this is real life. This is real life for me. I play video games, so that's a part of my life. I enjoy it. Some people watch reality shows on TV. For whatever reason they have. I shouldn't judge. I watch a couple of reality shows, but I just can't keep my hands off them, you know. But this is a part of my life, and this is a part of my life that I want to share with other people. So since I'm playing games anyways, I might as well record them and share them with people. That's not to say that I don't focus on real life. I'm very career minded. I've been at my current position, my current job in like a little over a year, and oops, sorry about that, didn't mean to do that. And I think every department by now, it's a big company, and I work towards having every department know who I am and get a lot of a huge network, and a lot of the higher ups know who I am and have worked with me, and that's really important in my life as well, to sort of advance in my career. So just because I like video games, it doesn't mean that I can't put on a game face when I have to do work. And I'm very passionate about being the best, which actually shows in my job. I don't know if you know what I do, but I do tech support, which is for the most part just sitting at the phone doing tech support. But I also coach my colleagues, and I help them out when they have troubles with some technical difficulties. I've been chosen to do some very interesting projects in the company that can actually impact a large percentage of the 10,000 people that are employed by this company. So I'm really super focused on real life, and gaming is just my way of escaping real life for a bit. It's my escapism, so to speak. Where are we? Cityofbones 0 says, Keith, I'm thinking about getting a PS3, and I want to know what you recommend. I'm really the last person you should ask. I've never owned a PS3. I've never owned an Xbox. I saw the comments on the question video going back and forth. So maybe you should ask one of those guys. Obviously, you should never ask a guy that has a PS3 if you should get a PS3, because he's just going to say yes. And the same goes for Xbox. Maybe you should ask somebody that has both, or go down to a gaming store and say, I like these kinds of games, and then if that's what you like, then that's what you like. I don't think the system should matter much. It's more about how you like to play your video games, and you know, the controller and stuff like that, and what you're willing to pay, obviously. For me, I'm a PC guy. Always have been, always will be, I think. Until they make like virtual reality helmets for everyday use, that would be neat. But so that's really the best suggestion I can do. Find out what you like and then just buy it. Forget what everybody else thinks. Yeah. Ravenspheele asks, what's your favorite and least favorite movie? My favorite movie is probably I really like Dumb and Dumber. I was a huge Jim Carrey fan. I still am, but when I was a kid, and when I was like 12 or 13, I was at this after school place, and for a very, very long time, we're talking months here, me and two other buddies had this thing where every single day we had it like on VHR. That's like a video cassette before the DVDs, you know? No. We rented that, or they had it in the club, and we watched that every single day, 5 days a week. So that's really ingrained. And in general, I like a lot of different movies, so it's hard to really say, you know, this is a good. I have like a special spot for, what's that? Was it called Edward Scissorhand? It's because I know it in Danish, and that's just a direct translation of the Danish title is Edward Scissorhand. but I think there might be some other name for it in English. I really like that. But there's a lot of old movies that I remember from my childhood. My least favorite movie is, I don't have a least favorite movie, because if I don't like a movie, I'll just stop watching it. But I can tell you the worst movie that I've ever watched, and that was called, what was it, Mind Eater? Mind Eater 2, no, Mind Eater 1. I can't believe there's a second one. But that's basically, I think that was the name. It was about this, I don't know, they were in some bomb shelter in a mountain, and there was some creature that killed them and ate their brains, and then they tried to get away from it, and they killed it like 1,000,000 times, but it still came alive. You know, in the end, they're I shouldn't tell you that. If you want to watch it, go ahead. But it's a terrible movie, terrible indeed. The Wandering Gamers ask, I'd like to know if you like horror films or any other film genres. Sorry. I do. Well, the real horror games. It's just like horror video games. I'm not very good at watching them, and I should not be watching them alone. I watched The Ring with a girlfriend of mine many years ago, and if I hadn't, you know, I'm a big baby when it comes to that. I can't. You've seen how I deal with horror games. It's the same. I do like more like splatter gore. I'm a huge fan of the Saw movies, even though I'll admit the later one sucks, but I like the story of it, and there's some bizarre part of me that is sort of interested in the traps and stuff like that. But that's really more of my kind of it's not like I watch a lot of those. I just had like a soft spot for the Saw series. I'm really more of a comedy dude. Not silly comedy. I don't like, oh, boink, you got hit in the head with a hammer, har, or you know, stuff like that. But something with like a good sophisticated humor that's just gonna maybe a joke that I need 2 seconds to really get it, and then it's gonna crack me up. That, you know, Adam Sandler movies, those are pretty funny, right? And so but I can watch a lot of different. I like Titanic, and that's not exactly a comedy, is it? There's a lot of good movies that I watched, but I wouldn't. I can't just say, if I had to say one category that I like, then it would be comedy. LovzonGaming says, favorite YouTube video of all time. That would probably be, if I had to choose, and you can look at my favorites if you want, because there is a lot of really different videos. There's two I want to mention. One is from Baratz and Beretta. They make like sketches, and they have one called montage, but montage, and that's just hilarious. It's like, here's Luke wrestling a bear at night, and it's just a black screen, and here's Ethan eating meat and stuff. It's just really funny, and those guys are hilarious. If you don't know them, go check them out, because they have a ton of hilarious videos. And then for the more serious part, there is one that Thunderfoot made, and I'm going to link both of them in the description or in an annotation here. Probably in the description, because I don't want you to click away and not watch the rest of the questions, although there's not that many left. One that Thunderfoot made, which is, it's just like, they sort of, he starts out with a woman saying, you know, the Bible has all the answers for every scientific, you know, method that we need. And then it shows a few clips of what the Bible does with how they treated wounds and the earth is flat and stuff like that. And then it just goes on to this big classical music showing a lot, not everything, but a lot of what science has done, lots of real good science, and it's just overwhelming how much how much information, how much knowledge we're getting from science, and I think that's really important. So those are like two favorite YouTube movies. They'll be in the description below. Where are we? FrostFox898 says, Keith, do you follow or stalk any YouTubers? Oh, and why do you never live stream anymore? I follow a lot of YouTubers, but it's more like casual. Some of I follow a good amount of Let's Players, but it really depends. I think you feel the same. When I follow a Let's Player, it really depends on what game they're playing through, and then I might watch one series but not the next. I'm sure you do the same with me. If you don't care about Deus Ex, then you're not going to watch it. So there's that. Then there's the comedy channels, which are pretty fun. But I'm not stalking them in like, I need to see everything that they do. So really, you should try and see my subscriptions and see if there's anything interesting there. I know that's not a very fulfilling answer, but it's really difficult to just right off the bat say one YouTuber that I really follow. Right. LeePrototype asks, do you have any interest in music? If so, what do you like or like to play? Also, RBSpikePro asks, who's your favorite bands/musician, and is there any bands/musicians that you like at the moment? Jim3 also asks, what's your favorite type of music? One of my favorite musicians or bands is the Goo Goo Dolls. I really love them. Their music is just awesome, just pure good rock, and it's not the hardcore stuff, but it's really, I think it's great. I also like Lifehouse, so that's stuff soft. It's not soft rock, because that sounds like something that Jesus would fall asleep to, but like Three Doors Down, I like that. That's just music with emotions. But by all means, I'm not like stuck to that kind of music. I also listen to rap. I like Rihanna, for example. Most of her stuff is pretty good. The latest song from Beyonce is pretty. It's not something that I put on, but I like to listen to it if it's on the radio. It's not like I'm gonna go, oh my god, that's terrible. So that's pretty nice to listen to. If I need, I really like Kings of Leon right now. I think their music is absolutely amazing. So much power, so much emotion. I like Jason Mraz. I think he's cool. And Bruno Mars is very quickly getting a special place in my heart as well, because his music has so much passion in it. What else? There's some Danish artists that I like, mostly because of from my childhood and stuff like that. But my taste in music varies quite a lot. One of my favorite, and to this day I can still listen to it, one of my favorite bands as a kid was Backstreet Boys. Basically, back in when I'm 25 years old now, and back in the days it was either Backstreet Boys or Spice Girls. And obviously the girls were into Spice Girls, so the boys were sort of like the Backstreet Boys, right? And to this day, I can still put on a Backstreet Boys album, and I can totally dream away, because that's just a part of my childhood now. Funny story: there was these books where you could collect pictures of them, and the girls had the Spice Girls, and the boys were actually in my class were collecting Backstreet Boys photos. I don't know why, because thinking back, it's a little bit weird that 12, 13-year-old boys were collecting pictures of other boys, but it's sort of what divided the boys and girls in my school. And I was the very first in my class to get all the photos. Yeah, in the red book. Then the blue book came out, and I sort of just said, "Fuck it, I don't want to do that anymore." But that's how big this Backstreet Boys / Spice Girls craze was. Did I miss something in these? Yeah. Oh yeah. I do, in terms of instruments. I was trying to learn how to play the piano for about, I don't know, 6 months or so. I got pretty decent, but not very good. But I sort of stopped because I didn't have the time or money to do it at the time, and then I haven't gotten back to it. I don't think if I tried now, I don't think I could play anything decent. Maybe I'll set up my keyboard. I have a keyboard, not a real piano, obviously. I'll set it up and try and see if I can play something. I was pretty good at playing. What was the name? Teardrop by what are they called? I'm YouTubing this right now. Let's see, teardrop. Massive Attack made Teardrop, and I really love that, and I could actually play it pretty well. I also own a guitar that I bought because I figured I might learn how to play that, but since I bought it, I needed to change the strings, and I have not done that yet. I don't think I've actually played it since the day that I actually bought it. I haven't gotten around to it. It's in the corner. I'm looking at it right now, looking really, really dusty because it hasn't been moved in a long time. I still want to get back to that because sometimes I write some lyrics that could be a song, but I don't have any means of putting it down with song and stuff like that. Which is also why I wanted to learn how to play the piano, but I never got around to actually learn it. I think that covers the music questions. Oh, right. Jim also asks, what is your YouTube guilty pleasure? Japanese girls. There's a very nifty video you can see from a music, more like a theater group called AKB 84 or 48. You just watch the video, you know why I like it, right? Right, and the last question comes from Drunkenzero. See what I did there? Which is, do you have the ability to play any instruments, or if so, what instrument? And I guess I already answered that. Sorry, I actually thought it was with the music questions, but I guess I hadn't scrolled down in my list, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, piano and guitar is two instruments that I don't play. So there's that. But I answered it, but you deserve to be mentioned as well. So that's the end of Ask Qieth 2, the answers. I hope you enjoyed it. This was also a very long video. How long was that? That was another 40 minutes. Jesus Christ, guys, you're killing me here. Because right now I'm gonna have to put in the questions and render the video and stuff like that. But I really enjoyed answering your questions, and it'll probably be a while again, the same time. Probably, when people start asking about it, I'll do the third one. Don't ask right now, seriously. All in all, thanks for taking an interest in my life and my opinions and stuff like that, and following my videos. I think that's really great. So yeah, I've got nothing more to say. I think I've spoken enough for all of us for a long time. Thanks for listening in, and I'll see you guys next time.